Hey everybody, yeah, I'm still around. I'm just giving you guys a heads up of something I've been working on, and as you can see, it is cuttings. And currently, I am testing different methods, so that way when I have a video about cuttings, I can give you some proper information. I'll show you. And I left it back there, and this is the first attempt, and they were growing and they had leaves, but it was a complete failure. So I ended up completely revamping the method, and I ended up buying 3 different types. This is a powder, a cloning gel made from fish crap that is supposed to be comparable to a Clonex, and it's not exactly. And I'm going to show you a couple examples so you guys can see what I've been working on. So in this tray is me using those pellets, and on the top is the FOOP hormone gel, and the bottom is the Clonex gel. And you can see down there, see if I can get this focused, they all have little roots coming out on them. The FOOP claims to be roots in 5 days, transplant in 7 days or something like that, I believe. But I found that it is no faster than the Clonex and has a strange problem that I'm gonna show you now. These 2 front trays, one is dedicated only with the FOOP and one is only dedicated to the Clonex. In this first one is the FOOP, and you can see there's quite a bit of damage. Everything has sprouted up. Even when the leaves have fallen, they get energy enough to create new leaves, but there's a lot of damage in this one. And I find that if you use the FOOP, there does seem to be a rampant outbreak, cultivation, growth of fungus, I guess. And it does claim in the bottle that it does have beneficial bacteria, fungus, things like that. But I think that if left unchecked, it ends up taking over and killing it. So this had to be sprayed with hydrogen peroxide water mixture to make sure that they didn't just completely eat away and destroy the leaves. Now in the second tray, this is only Clonex. And as you can see, very minimal damage. Any that completely fell off were they just browned and just fell off. But there was very little, if at all, I ever had to do. Actually, I did not have to do a hydrogen peroxide mist at all. And on some of these, they actually do have a little bit of that white moss, but nowhere near. That one's starting to get a little damaged, so I might have to do it now. I've kind of pushed these in these little humidity domes, probably for a little longer than what they need to, but I mean, I have noticed a difference. At the end of the day, maybe the results, it's okay with a couple of little bit of a management to them, but I really don't see a benefit between buying a cheaper one that you're gonna have to maybe watch more often. But again, the results may vary. I'll show you another example, and this is why I really want to get this down before I make a how to cultivate or propagate, video. Alright, so this is a tray that I did with half and half of a FOOP and half with the Clonex. The FOOP are back here, and the leaves are strong. Like I said, I never had to do any peroxide spray here, but if you notice, there really isn't any growth. However, with the Clonex, again, they're all pretty good, pretty nice, but one of them absolutely had the energy, and this thing is, I mean, this thing had energy to spare, and I think this one sprouted even before I'm thinking in a few days. So this part of the branch really had the most energy stored, and it just helped this beautiful. So I'm a little worried about these, and I want to load up. Sorry. These were after the initial spraying. After a couple of weeks, ended up doing a watering underneath. So I would fill these up a little bit. One time it would fill up all the way, and then about halfway, and just let the sand, which is in these, absorb, and hopefully has promoted these roots to go down. And I will do another video later on when I'm more comfortable to pull these out, because they're looking beautiful, but maybe they didn't do any rooting. Now, this here is my last tray of the privets, and this one, these are all just cut and put in, and that's it. And some are taking, and some look like they might not make. That one might be completely dead, but as you can see, there are some sprouting. The leaves on these got really bad, and I thought that meant it's over, it's done. But that's really not the case, because on this one here, let's see if it'll focus. Come on. Oh yeah, it's gonna give me a hard time here. Okay, there we go. This little guy right here. Okay, so this one dropped its leaves in the first week. And this one is kind of like my little secret outlier. This one had the FOOP gel hormone put on it just to see. And it died immediately. I mean, the leaves were contaminated with that white fungus, moss, whatever you want to call it. And immediately died. And I just said, well, let me just leave it in there and see what happens. And to my surprise, it actually here recently started sprouting. I do not know if it will survive. It's kind of stagnated here a little while, but we'll give it a shot and we'll see if it's gonna be able to pull through. But these, they didn't have any fungal up on here maybe the last week or so, and I've applied the same hydrogen peroxide mixture, and I've been able to maintain all the other ones just like this. But this one, I don't know what happened. Its leaves are not doing very good, but I have seen that it doesn't just automatically mean that they're down for the count. I also have some other trays. I'll show you here, just as a demo. So I have, these are, they're pretty much boxwoods. I don't know which species exactly it is, but I'm pretty sure it's one of the non-blooming ones. It doesn't have any flowers for as long as I've always had them, and they take a long time to grow, and I decided to give those a try also to see how difficult it will be to propagate other plants. I do have a second tray up here, and this is a more concentrated with the gel, and also doing the different water underneath fed, just to see how they're going to go. And like I said, these are just other ones in there doing the same kind of new testing on how heavy humidity. As you can tell, some have just enough, some are completely drenched, and some have none, and they're still doing very good. I do have a tray underneath here I do have it inside one of those cheapy, I think $40 Amazon greenhouses. I have these humidity pucks. Right now I got it completely open. So kind of helps me maintain the humidity on next to the trays. The trays I think were like $25, and these are some of the taller ones. There's ones that look just like this, but they're only about 2 inches tall, the domes, and I think these are almost about 4.25. So it gives you a lot of headroom. I mean, you can see like without the plastic cubes trays, I mean, you can really put them on there, and then you can get some great growth in there. So yeah, this is what I've been working on. I will have an update on the hedge. It's gonna be fall time, so it's gonna maybe be the last example, and we'll go from there. So sorry, it's kind of like a ranty video. It's not amazing, but I will be doing a time lapse of these 3. I'm trying to get a cutout or something so we can actually just see how long the roots are instead of constantly pulling them out. So anyways, I'll stop rambling. Alright guys, I will see you all later, and thanks for watching.